Welcome again to my Aberdeenshire kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to do a homemade chicken and ham pie. Here are our ingredients for our chicken and ham pie. It's really a one-pot pie, and as you can see we have quite a few ingredients here. So starting off with the chicken, we have 750 grams of boneless chicken thighs. We have around 250 to 300 grams of ham. Now I have cooked an inexpensive ham joint that I bought in the supermarket. I've just boiled it for an hour, and the resulting stock can make a tasty soup. So I've chopped that up. You could buy ready cooked ham, but it's difficult to get it thickly sliced. So then we're going to be using 250 mils of chicken stock, about 250 grams of new potatoes sliced, 1 chopped leek, and 3 pieces of chopped celery. We're going to use some chopped parsley, 50 grams of butter. We're going to grate some fresh nutmeg, about half a teaspoon. I've got half a cup of all-purpose flour, and I've also got half a cup of cream. You can use single cream or double cream. I like to use double cream. We're going to season it with salt and pepper. And I have got some homemade puff pastry here. You can substitute with ready-made frozen pastry that's been previously defrosted, or you can buy chilled ready-made puff pastry. So next I'm going to pop the chicken into a large pan, and then I'm going to add the vegetables. Chicken stock, and the cream. And I'm going to bring that to the boil, and then I'm going to simmer it for about 25 minutes until the chicken and vegetables are just cooked. Now that's reached boiling point, we can turn down the heat and pop on the lid and cook for around 25 minutes. So I've removed my chicken thighs from the pan, and I have roughly torn them up. And now we are going to strain the cooking liquor through a sieve or a colander. So I'm going to pop in my butter into the hot pan, and I'm going to let that melt down. I'll turn down the heat to a medium heat because we don't want the butter to take on any colour. So next I'm going to add my flour. And mix that in. Just let that come to a sandy texture. And now add our cooking liquor. Thickening up nicely. Now we're ready to add the ham to our chicken and vegetables. And we can add our chopped parsley and grate in some nutmeg. Now we're ready to add our roux. Oh, it smells good. And here we have our filling. Now we can pop in some seasoning to taste. I'm going to pop in some pepper. And I'm just going to taste it before adding salt. It needs a bit of salt. But that tastes good. It's really important that you take the time to make sure that this is at least cooled to room temperature, preferably chilled. So I've added my chicken and that's it in the tray, now ready to chill. We're now ready to put the pie together. So I'm going to got my pastry block and I'm just going to lightly dust my board. And a bit on the pastry. And smooth side up. And then I'm just going to roll this out until it gets to probably about 3 millimeters thick. Out as evenly as possible, making sure we get into the corners. So I think we're close now. It's about 2 to 3 millimeters. So now what we want to do is we want to get our pie dish and we want to turn it upside down and we want to cut a shape around the outside. So I am going to use a pizza cutter, and so what we're going to do is we're just going to take about 3 centimeters all the way around. Like so. Now keep the leftovers because we're going to need these to line our lip. So I can pop this to one side. I like to pop it back in the fridge because, as I've said, pastry likes to be kept cool. So I'm going to pop it back in the fridge while I prepare the pie dish. So while the pastry's chilling, then we can use our scraps to line the rim of our pie dish. So what we need to do is we just need to get our pizza cutter and just square it away so that we can stick it to the edge of our dish. It doesn't need to be fancy. Now I've got some beaten egg here, and so I'm just going to moisten the lip of the pie dish with the beaten egg. so. And then I'm going to stick these pastry pieces down. That will just be perfect. So my filling has now had a chance to chill, and now we can start assembling the pie. So let's get our pie dish. We can start popping the filling in. As I said earlier, this really is a one-pot pie. It has our chicken and ham, and our potatoes, and our vegetables in here. And that lovely crunchy beetroot coleslaw is going to be a wonderful contrast. Our pie is starting to look like a pie. So now we can get the pastry back out. And we can pop the lid on. Like so. Now I'm going to score my pie just to make sure that it rises and it allows the layers to push up through as the heat starts to make the pastry puff. And now you can brush it with egg wash. And at this point you can decorate it as you wish. So I've popped it on a baking sheet and into the oven it goes. Now we can get ahead with our beetroot coleslaw. So for the coleslaw, here are my ingredients. I'm going to need 2 small beetroot. Then I'm going to pare this carrot and I'm going to shred it. And I've got some red pepper here, just about 1/3 of a red pepper. And I've got 1 small chilli, not very hot variety. I'm going to take the seeds out and chop that finely. And I've got about 1/3 of a small red cabbage here, maybe even less than that. And a bit less than 1/4 of a small onion. You could use a red onion. And I've got half a lemon here. We're going to use the juice in the coleslaw. And I've also got 4 good tablespoons of good quality mayonnaise here. Don't be afraid to adjust these recipes to your taste. So some people don't like too much cabbage, then go easier on the cabbage. So there we have it, all nicely sliced, and I'm going to pop that into a bowl. So now I'm going to get on with my carrot. That's looking good now. I'm just going to leave them in fairly long shreds and pop these in with my shredded cabbage. Let's get that in with the rest of our coleslaw ingredients. Okay, that's our chilli chopped up. I'm going to pop that in now. And then I'm just going to pop all these ingredients in the fridge just to keep cool until my beetroot is ready. And you can just mix them through with your hands so that all these lovely flavours start to come together and the onion gets blended through. I like to bring the coleslaw together in a big bowl. So I have a big bowl here. I'm just going to add the cabbage, carrots, chopped chilies, red peppers and onion. And then we're going to pop in this beautiful ruby red beetroot. I like to leave the beetroot until last so that it doesn't bleed too much into the coleslaw. So let's mix it all up. That looks great. Beetroot's all mixed through. And then we can add our lemon juice. And our mayonnaise. Salt and pepper. I don't put too much salt in coleslaw. I don't find it needs it, but you can season to your own taste. And then we can just mix through. Fold. Get that lovely pink colour from the beetroot. Through. There we go. Doesn't that look wonderful? And our pie is cooked. So we're just going to leave it to rest just for a few minutes, and then we're going to serve it up with the beetroot coleslaw. Et voila! There we go. Chicken and ham pie with beetroot coleslaw. Bon appetit!